You know, in pretty much every classroom, there's this hidden conflict playing out. It's a choice between fitting in with your friends and actually getting ahead in school. It's a paradox that can shape a student's entire future, and sociologist Louise Archer's research really helps us get to the bottom of why.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it sounds kind of backward. Why would any student pick a path that might actually limit their options down the road? Well, this is the exact puzzle that sociologist Louise Archer wanted to solve.
All right, first up, a classroom paradox. We're going to start by unpacking this tough spot that Archer found many students, especially working class girls, find themselves in. It's a daily choice between two very different worlds. So, what Archer found was that this isn't just about being a good student or a bad student. It's way more complicated. It's about trying to live in two completely different worlds at the same time. You've got the world of your friends and social status on one hand, and the world of teachers, rules, and grades on the other. And for some students, those two worlds are just fundamentally at odds.
Okay, so how does this conflict actually, show up in the hallways? It all centers on performing a very specific kind of identity, one that's built from the ground up to earn you respect and status with your peers.
And Archer came up with a name for this, the hyper-heterosexual feminine identity. It's a really powerful persona, right? It's a way of being that gives you validation and a sense of belonging. And it's not just about your clothes or makeup. It's a whole package of values and actions that broadcasts who you are and which group you belong to.
So, what does that performance actually look like? Well, you've got the really obvious signals, like the branded sportswear and specific hair and makeup styles. Then you have the social stuff, like how important it is to have a boyfriend. But honestly, the most crucial part here is the rejection of what the school thinks an ideal student should be. In this world, being quiet, playing by the rules, and being a bookworm, that's not cool at all. And that leads us right into the core trade-off. What you've got here are basically two competing kinds of currency. Two different ways to get value that these students are constantly trying to balance every single day.
So Archer uses this idea of capital to explain it. And no, we're not talking about money in the bank. Think of it more like social currency versus academic currency. You can put all your energy into earning one type, but doing that often means you lose out on the other. It's really, really hard to have both.
And this right here breaks it down perfectly. Look at the left side, symbolic capital. That's the street cred, the respect you get from your friends for rocking that hyper-heterosexual identity. But that directly clashes with the school's whole vibe. Now on the right, you have educational capital. That's your grades, your qualifications, the stuff you get by playing the game and being the ideal pupil. But for so many of the girls in this study, choosing that path felt like selling out, like giving up who they really are.
I mean, listen to how Archer herself puts it. It is an either-or choice. This quote just hammers home what an impossible position these girls are in. They're basically being forced to pick. Do you want to succeed on the school's terms or on your own terms?
But wait, it's not just about the students. The school itself, it plays a huge role in all of this. It actually reinforces these divides with its own set of labels and stereotypes. And this is a really key point. The pressure isn't just coming from their friends. It's coming from the outside too, from teachers, from the school's whole culture. And once you get a label, it can be really hard to shake, making it even tougher to bridge that gap between your social life and your school life.
So Archer's research actually found that teachers often have these three specific types of students in their heads. First, you've got the ideal pupil, seen as a natural achiever who follows the rules, and usually they're white and middle class. Then there's the pathologized pupil, often associated with Asian students, who is seen as this quiet, passive, almost robotic overachiever. And finally, the demonized pupil. This label was often stuck on working class or Black students, branding them as disruptive, loud, and unintelligent. It's a pretty harsh look at how class and race can create these powerful expectations that totally shape a student's experience.
Okay, so we've dug into the theory. But let's zoom out for a second. Why should we still care about this research today? What's the big takeaway? Well, the real strength of Archer's work is how it just brilliantly connects the dots between who you are, where you come from, and how well you do in school. It gives a voice to a group, working class girls, that we don't often hear from. And it shows that when a student isn't doing well, it's not always a personal failure. Sometimes the school culture itself is pushing them away because they just don't fit the mold.
Now, of course, no study is perfect.
It's good to remember that Archer's main focus was on working-class girls, so these ideas might not apply to everyone. Some critics also argue that the conflict isn't always so black and white, that some students actually do find a way to balance both worlds, and there's always room to explore more about how race and sexuality mix with class.
And all of this really leaves us with one big, nagging question. After seeing how being popular and being a good student can be opposing forces, you just have to ask, what are our schools really designed to do? Are they there to reward conformity and create a single type of ideal student? Or are they supposed to be a place that nurtures the unique identity of every single person who walks through their doors? It's something to think about.